Hello and welcome to our very first Women in Bloom podcast. We're really excited to be here. We're very new at this, so if we come out and say anything that doesn't seem quite right or we're fumbling a bit, please forgive us. We're new, we're learning. My name is Caroline. This is Alexis.
Hello.
And this is Annie.
Hello.
And today in our podcast, we'll be talking about how Women in Bloom came about, what it's all about, where we're headed. And I think to kick things off, we should start with the founder of Women in Bloom, Annie.
Thanks, Caroline. It started because I was aware of so many women who didn't really feel good about themselves. I mean, I'd been in the beauty industry for over 40 years and I was seeing so many women who didn't know how to look after their skin, didn't know what makeup to apply, weren't embracing the aging process in any way, shape or form. They were made to feel less than, etc., and invisible, a lot of them. So I thought, well, why not put on an event where women could come together and learn about things that would really make a difference to them at this stage in their lives, women 45 plus, things that will help them feel better about themselves and also more inspired to actually enjoy life rather than think it was a downhill slide. Mm-hmm. So the first event was in Sydney in 2019 and then which went really well. Everyone had a great time and said, we want more. Then my partner and I moved to the Gold Coast in 2021 during that whole COVID time. We have had 2 events on the Gold Coast, which were both a really big success. There were lots of fun. Women wanted more. There was starting to be a bit of a community developing because of people coming together and sharing ideas and being inspired by each other and thinking, wow, this is such a good thing to learn more about myself and my well-being, etc. So after the 2 events on the Gold Coast, I was thinking it would be great to keep this community that's starting to develop, starting to grow together. And I thought an online community was the next step, but I was a bit lost as to how I was going to do that because it was way beyond my expertise. And so talking to a friend, he suggested he set up a meeting with 2 amazing women. And as it turned out, it was hugely beneficial because here they are.
I went to that first Gold Coast event and I just had the best time. And when you talk about community, that's what it felt like, honestly. Just walking into that room, it was absolutely huge. Huge room, packed full of women drinking and eating and laughing. Yeah, it was mad. It was, you imagine something like 100, how many women were there? There were like 150 women there at this huge ballroom, and the vibe was really electric, and the presenters for the day, I mean, we had such a wide range of presenters talking about breath work and makeup and finances and not being caught out when your partner dies or you're fleeing a domestic violence situation, always having that money there just to back you up. The doctor, the
Dr. Tancha.
Oh, yes. She was hilarious, talking about, how women in their 70s are having more sex than anybody in any other age group, which I found astounding. Yeah. And I just had such a great day. And looking at you when I saw who you were, and you were just standing very quietly in the corner and just very
amazed that it was all coming together.
But you just looked so self-assured and just in your space. You looked ethereal, and I just thought, wow, what a woman. I'd love to meet her. And then I found out that you, that like the Women in Bloom thing was actually a bit of a side hustle because you're the beauty editor for Better Homes and Gardens. Like, how long have you been doing that?
I've been doing that role for over 20 years now, and I absolutely love it. And one of the big things about Better Homes and Gardens is that it empowers people to do things for themselves. So it was kind of very in alignment with the whole Women in Bloom, which is about empowering women as well. So yes, Better Homes and Gardens is a fabulous magazine because I think it's because it inspires people to do things for themselves.
And people keep copies forever, don't they? They've got stashes. Yeah. I don't know, do you have stashes at Better Homes and Gardens? I found a stash the other day. I was like, oh, I've still got them. So yeah, I had a really, really good day and I was inspired by you, and I just thought, I'd really love to meet this woman one day. And then it turns out I did.
You did.
I did. That friend, he was actually a workmate of mine. That's how I know him. And he suggested I come along and meet you, and I already knew you through our own
network.
Yes. And so I didn't really, he just basically said, you know, there's opportunity for collaboration there. I think it could be good for your company. I think you could help them. And I thought, okay, we'll see what happens. And I went along to the meeting and walked out like, mind blown. This is incredible. What a great thing to do. Like,
well, it is this. It's a new territory that needs to be explored, because there's more and more of us women over 45, and we're not being supported, encouraged, helped. So the possibilities are incredible.
Yeah, for sure. And you went to one of the events too, didn't you?
I went to the last Women in Bloom event, the big event down the Gold Coast, and got the opportunity to meet Annie, the speakers on the day, and really felt connected with the community. I was invited by a friend of mine, Kim from Liliana Bonsai. Shout out to her for introducing me to this amazing community and these founders now that I'm connecting with and building business with. And my experience from that day was very rewarding, building a community, meeting these like-minded women, supporting women. The message that came from that day was amazing. So I felt like I found my people. And I walked away from that event saying to Kim, love to do something with these ladies one day and just put it out to the universe essentially, and never thought of it again. It would have been, I actually won something from the day, a raffle that Annie was holding, and I was really blessed to do that. The event...
What was the prize?
Oh, I won a yacht event. So it was like a yachting around the coast sort of thing. Yeah. So it was... I just felt like the community was a really big thing for me. The winning something there was a bonus, but it was about the community and that sort of thing. So 6 months from then we got introduced or reintroduced, and then this collaboration or this person said to me, well, why don't you work with these ladies with your background in business and growth and that sort of thing? Why don't you see if you can collaborate? And when we sat down for our first meeting, it just clicked. Everything was in such beautiful flow, and it wasn't even, would you like to join us, or it was more like, right, this is the team, let's move forward.
So now what do we do?
And it was very much like that.
Yes. We had that, I think from there we decided, we had a couple of meetings and then decided that we actually really needed a big planning day. So that was our first girls sleepover.
Yeah.
Massive planning day. We got through a lot of stuff, didn't we? We talked about our mission and our vision and our values, ideas for events and workshops.
What I find really interesting is that we're covering the 40s, 50s and 60s.
And beyond.
We've all got slightly different experiences, but we've all got so much to offer. And the possibilities just keep growing and growing and growing.
Yeah, we complement each other very well in our history and our experiences to make Women in Bloom such a great community. But it's not just about us, it's about our community, the people out there. And that's why the podcast is so meaningful for us, is that we would like to have everyone involved, like our community to present speakers or to contribute. That's our big key to this. It's not just about us, even though that's how we're presenting today. It's also about getting everyone involved.
That's the main thrust of it, isn't it?
Well, there's so much expertise out there, so we'd love to hear from anyone who wants to share their expertise, their knowledge, their experiences that is of value to other people, women 45.
Sharing your stories and your experiences. This is what it is, and supporting each other. Some people are at different stages in their lives. Other people are would like more support. Others are just here to have a great time and connect with community. And from that spectrum, that's exactly what we're looking for. Build community that supports each other.
Absolutely. And I think something that we've talked about at length is how important it is to get feedback from you, from our community, so that we've got ideas around what we want to include with our podcasts. What have we got? Wellness, finances,
Style,
beauty. Yeah. So those sorts of things. But we also want to hear from you. So when we say get in touch with us, become a part of our community, that means following our socials. It means going to womeninbloom.com.au and just checking us out and commenting on our posts, engaging with us. That's what we really, really want. You matter to us. We matter to each other, and we're here for each other. And that means engaging with you. We're not just talking at you. We want you to be included in this dialogue, in the narrative, if you will.
Because this is hopefully a destination or become a household name where women of all different situations in life can go to and think, and they know they'll find something that's inspirational or helpful or
supportive.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of that. And I think, our biggest thing, the thrust of our message is to help women age courageously, to support women in that. That's probably our biggest message. You don't have to feel invisible or disappear or,
And that starts, for me, it starts very much with the better you feel about yourself, the better your life's going to be.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that for me. Well, it's not simple, but so it's a journey that we'd like to go on with you.
Yeah, the mind, the body and the soul that we're bringing all together, and we don't have all the answers. We would like to present as many experts and people within the industry as possible so that you can glean knowledge from all areas. So it's about collaborative versus us presenting and giving you all the answers. We want to be able to work together with our community, whether it's regional or city-based or wherever you are around the world. That's the aim. Women in Bloom would be there to support you at different stages of your growth.
Yeah.
I think, was it you that said something really beautiful? It's about holding space for each other. I love that.
Yeah, well, there are so many women, especially older women, when I say older, 45 plus, who are isolated or alone or feel alone. We'd like to actually help make a difference in that space.
There's a lot of research around that at the moment where they're seeing, not just women, but people 45 plus who are feeling disconnected post-COVID. We've actually seen a lot of that from a psychological, just mentally not feeling like you're connecting. So we as a community supporting 40 plus women would like to fill that gap and understand how that relates to our environment, our community. So Women in Bloom are going to present all those really big key ideas to support from that perspective.
Yeah, and have some fun along the way.
Oh, yes. It's all about having fun.
Got to have a bit of fun, right?
Yeah.
So, yes, our online survey. Make sure that you answer, get involved and answer the questions there. I promise you, this matters very much to me. Every answer will be treated confidentially and respectfully, and we're certainly not going to be shopping your details around to anyone. It's for us. It's for us to help you. And present things that you're interested in, Annie, her background in beauty and makeup, I know nothing about that stuff, but you do. And so you might be like me and go, yeah, you know what? It's time I refresh my eyebrows. What does that look like? And then finances, you're really savvy with all that sort of stuff. Me, not so much. So, there's stuff I can learn from you there. From me, my background, I've only just really in the last 5 years discovered how much meditation can help and that sort of thing. So we all bring something different to the table, but you might want something totally different. Like, I don't know, your kids are about to leave home and how are you going to cope with that? Or you've just found yourself divorced because your husband ran off with some young thing. how do you cope with that? You know, do you go to your friends?
It's true, yeah.
Well, yeah, we're faced with
yeah.
all sorts, and you know what? Women are so used to just digging in and just getting on with it. And we'll talk to our girlfriends occasionally if we have the benefit of living close to them. There's people out there that live remotely, or they're so busy with their day that they don't have time to debrief.
Yeah, that's true. And there's also changes. The body goes through changes. Mentally, we go through changes with life. So it's good to have someone to help us navigate through those things and to feel normal.
Yeah, the story around menopause, and it's such a, I think, for depending on which culture you're from, and even in this day and age, we don't really have a true understanding of what menopause looks like for the individual. Mm-hmm. So I think that's one of our key things, that we're health and the concept of what all that means moving out into our next iteration of life will be something that we will be discussing and supporting community around that. Caroline mentioned the fact that we're building our community. We want to support the community, the Women in Bloom community, and to do that, we will have such a big online presence as well. So you don't actually have to leave the comfort of your home to connect. We can do that on your Facebook, our social media pages, and to have the community specifically based within region. And that's our goal and our aim, to move the community into that space where you can connect with people within your own space, is also a big thing. That's one of our big visions that we are promoting for Women in Bloom as well.
We'll also be doing some workshops and some events, so they're still going to happen.
The big ones?
Yes.
Big and small.
Big and small, why not?
Yes, so watch that space.
Yeah.
You will have our website is actually under construction at the moment, so it's definitely something exciting where once we launch from that perspective, it will be quite clear the different education training spaces that you can actually glean from the website, the community based, whether it's online events or even just community events.
Yes, face to face. That's something I think that we found from COVID. You know, it's so important to have that face-to-face connection again. When we were stuck behind a computer screen, seeing people, you know, doing it that way, I think face-to-face is important as well.
I did a whole series of workshops in regional Tasmania years ago, and working with these women, showing them how to do skincare and then apply makeup, and seeing the joy on their faces and the excitement of what it was like to feel good about the way they looked was just precious. That has to be done in person.
Yeah, right? I think so.
So hopefully the website's live when you're seeing this, but if it's not, here's what's going to be coming. We're going to cover 4 pillars, and under those pillars we'll have lots of different subjects. And some of those will be initiated by you, hopefully, by giving us some feedback of what you'd like to know more about. But under beauty, of course, we'll be learning about skincare, what kinds of products are going to make a difference to your skin, the do's and don'ts about doing makeup. Makeup on a mature skin is slightly different, but there are certainly ways to enhance your features rather than looking made up. And I'm happy to do some videos and some workshops. We'll actually definitely do some workshops. And under style, it's going to be about helping you feel great about what you're wearing. So when you open your wardrobe, you don't think, oh my God, I don't like any of what's in here. So you can actually leave house every day feeling good, feeling like you're wearing clothes that work for you, that suit your personality, that you enjoy wearing. I think there are so many women that waste a lot of money wearing the wrong colours or the wrong shapes or the wrong looks that just don't gel with their personalities. So we'll be doing lots of tips and workshops along those lines. And I think, Caroline, you're going to be talking about
for the wellness side of things, you know, how journaling can help tease out, you know, where we're at in our lives. And it's interesting. I came across a diary that I kept in the middle of my first ever broken heart breakup. I came across that, and we're talking a good, how old am I now? 55, good 35 years ago. And I was just so raw and shredded, and I looked at it and I just went, wow, you know, this is who I was then. And And I sort of connected from that older woman with that younger woman that was having her heart smushed to smithereens, and it was just amazing. And I think journaling is so good for that sort of thing, you know, especially if you are feeling like you're in a bit of a dip in where you are in your life. Get it out, write it out, get it out. It's not paying rent, like my grandfather used to say. Don't paying rent, get it out. So, and he was right. Like, get it out, write it out, and then you know you can look back in a year's time and go, wow, I've come here from there. And gratitude diaries as well. One of my friends gifted me one for my last birthday, and it's beautiful. Yeah. It's so beautiful. There's moon phases are included in there, and our own little journey as well. And then there's space for you to write what you're thinking. And
I totally agree, Caroline. I was just going to wanted to add that it's an amazing, or a very therapeutic way to actually tune in to what's important for you, what you need, what you want, to clear your thoughts, because this is your very personal thing. It's a tool that I think we could all learn and benefit from.
Absolutely. So we'll be covering that sort of thing, wellness, meditation, how to kick things off. You know, you're not going to sit there and think about nothing, are you? Like, it's like saying, don't think about that purple elephant. What are you going to be thinking about? You know, there's tools and there's tricks. Guided meditation is a great way to start off. And for me, it made the difference between me banging on my son's door and going, get up at school, you're running late. Yeah. And instead of, not, Yui, it's time to get up. You know, it's just calmer. You're calmer. It helps, you know. So I'll be looking at those sorts of things, and we'll have blog posts about that as well. Anything that we talk about here in our podcast will marry up with our socials and also blog posts as well, so that we're covering all aspects. Because you could be a really busy person and you literally don't have time to do anything with Women in Bloom except listen to the podcasts while you're, you know, doing the housework or driving somewhere. Yeah, that could be it. That could be your level of engagement with us, and that's fine, because it's about what's good for you. And the other pillars as well, like we're talking about life. Yeah.
So with life, the aim for Women in Bloom to support that area is very broad. But we're talking about finances, potentially superannuation. What does that mean moving into the next retirement? What is retirement going to look like? The other things, so we talked about there's elements of health in there as well. So it's the three pillars essentially. So if you look at what that means, life in general, how you're connecting with your family, how you're connecting with relationships, all those key things. So it's a little bit of everything, life. So there's subheadings underneath that, but we will be providing specialists in those fields and people who have experiences. So lots of stories around what that means in different areas and different aspects of everyone's life. So that's what life is going to cover. Yeah,
something that came up at our first the event that I went to. The woman was talking about finance. I think she was a lawyer. She was talking about finance and
she helps women with
domestic.
That was powerful. That was so powerful. Just.
The one that Annie, the one that Caroline went through.
Yes, talking about Trina. Yes, she specialises in women, helping women get their superannuation, financial independence.
We're so tied in with our partners that if something goes pear-shaped there, you know, we really need to be independent and have our own little.
It's all about us owning our life situation, actually not taking anything for granted, leaving anything in the hands of someone else and thinking everything will be fine, just actually being aware of what's going on behind the scenes, financially, legally, in all respects, health-wise, mentally, physically, emotionally.
Taking ownership.
Yeah.
I tell you, because it sneaks up on you. Like last week I was 25 and now I'm suddenly 55. And have I thought about superannuation? Actually, I have, because we've invested our super in a house. That's what we've done, some of it anyway. And but even still, like even in my 40s, I wasn't really thinking about that in my future, and yet. And suddenly you find yourself at this age and go, oh, wow, okay, so maybe I should be careful about what I'm putting in my body now in terms of what I'm eating and drinking. Maybe I should be thinking about do I have a savings account at the moment? All of those things that we are suddenly finding ourselves thinking about more and more the older we get, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. So I agree with everything that Caroline just said, and it's true. We tend to wait to think about things like that, and even if we as Women in Bloom plant the seed now for the 45 plus, or even if you're there and it's on your doorstep, there's always a solution. It's not about, oh my God, what am I going to do with this? It's more about there is plenty of support. On our website in particular, we will have experts that you can connect with. I remember the last event that I went to, and we had Kathleen Simpson.
That's right.
She was our legal speaker then, and she was talking about having a separate bank account for emergencies and things like, and a friend of mine went through that where her husband passed away and everything got locked down and she couldn't access it because it was in joint accounts and it was things like that where you don't really want to be thinking about that or, I guess manifesting or bringing that to the table, but it's like crossing the road. This is kind of my analogy.
Yes.
Like there's no fear about crossing the road. Cars are coming, but you've got to be aware of that. You've got to know to cross at the right time. So we want to be able to remove the fear from getting older, aging, finances, what it means to be an empty nester, what it means to spend your years in retirement with your husband or your partner who is now retired and you get to spend a lot more time together.
Or now your kids have gone and you're thinking, who am I?
Yes.
What do I want to do with my life?
My mum went through that. My mum went through that.
Yeah.
And just even say your partner's moved on or however that may look, you're back into the dating game. What is that even going to look like? So we're here to support those sort of questions and that sort of inquiry where you were like, where do I start with this? So go to Women in Bloom and we'll have the information and we'll have
and if we don't, we'll get it.
We'll
find it.
And we are open to
tell us.
Yes.
Tell us if we don't have it.
DM us. And connect with our social pages. Our Facebook page is very active. So go on there and find us so that we can connect with you. And we're a plethora of information. And as Annie said, if we don't know, we will find the relevant people who have the answers. Because I don't think anyone has all the answers.
No, and I just wanted to go back to when you mentioned the domestic violence lawyer. She was impressed on everyone that it can happen to anyone.
Correct.
That knowing your legal rights and knowing where you stand is so important. And information is power in all aspects of our lives. So,
even if you don't need it personally, you might have come across someone who would require that. And that's what I got from it. I received, when Kathleen was speaking and she was talking about these really heart-wrenching situations that she has to deal with as a lawyer, even for me in the back of my mind, this information may be useful one day, not for me personally, but for someone that I come across, especially in my day-to-day workings and connecting with people and the business contacts that I have. So that's very important as well.
Oh, there's so much about life that just little gems of wisdom sometimes can change things, lift your day,
for sure,
awaken an idea or some inspiration.
Yeah,
I'm a firm believer that everything that comes to you in awareness or whatever it may be, the smallest things, always is there for your benefit. So your the information may not be required right now, but it will be required at some stage.
Yeah.
So all of this is meaningful.
Yeah, for sure. If not personally, then, like you said, someone else that you might know might be going through a certain thing that we've been discussing, whatever that might be, and just go, you know what, maybe not for me, but Janice might be able to, get some benefit from this. Why not? And I think what I really want to make really clear is that the space that we are holding for each other is a gentle one. We're not judgy. It's not about that. If you're comfortable dressing a certain way, then that's your power. Good for you, you know.
Absolutely.
But you might find some benefit on helping getting your finances together, or what making a will does now and how that can help in the future. Just having your ducks lined up, I think, because that's what I'm finding. I've left everything to the last minute and gone, I'm not getting any
Save that
younger.
one for later.
Yes.
No, but we can also help people have more energy and feel better on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
From whether it's the quality of their skin to how they feel from the inside, and all those aspects of health.
You know, a woman who feels strong in herself is a sight to behold, isn't she?
100%.
Just lights up a room, just is fantastic. I love that.
So the aim of our podcast as well is to also provide really great speakers and key people in our community that, so it won't be just us speaking every time.
You'll get sick of us.
We
You
will.
We'll get sick of us.
We would like you to come and join us, because it'll be a conversation with great speakers, people in their fields, like, authors, those type of people will be coming on board, and we will be sort of conversing with them. And it'll be like when you sit down with a bunch of friends and you're having a wine and conversing, or coffee if you're not a drinker, and that's okay, and conversing and really gaining knowledge. So we'll actually pull to our community and ask for you to provide questions and to interact. So you'll know who will be coming on board with this podcast, and that's the whole aim, so that you then can interact, provide questions on our socials, and we will ask these questions to these to the people coming on board, and we'll be interviewing with. Yes. Any other points, ladies, that we may have missed?
No, I think just reiterating the importance of engagement, because without you, we don't exist, really. To be honest, I mean, we can exist for each other. That's great. We've got a lovely friendship happening, but we want to have you join us as well. So, yeah, for sure.
I just wanted to add, everyone has a story. You might look at someone and think they've got their life together, they've got it all fine, the relationship, the job, the whatever. They may look like their life is easy, but not everyone has something going on. Everyone has doubts, fears, worries, concerns about some aspects of their lives. So hopefully by coming to the website, there'll be something there that can make a difference, that will help, will inspire, or help someone feel less alone.
Well, just to touch on that, Annie, you're exactly right. So I'm representing the 45 plus women. Caroline's 55 plus, and you're looking after the 60 plus. And so we all have history to get to where we are now. We didn't literally fall out of the sky and land here. And in the next couple of podcasts, you'll actually learn a little bit more about our history. But everyone's got a big closet of things in there that they can unfold and actually support other women as well. Sharing your story is not about, I guess, for lack of a better word, offloading. It's more about sharing your story so other people can either learn from it or relate to it, essentially. So people have gone through these stories. So that leads me into our next point. We are asking questions of our community. We're putting together a survey, and the survey is to understand how we can connect with our community better, and it will break down each of those pillars that we spoke about previously. And we would love for you as our community to get on the website, go on our socials and fill out this survey, so we know that we're, on the, putting our finger on the pulse and addressing all the concerns that you have, and that we're on the right path. So that's the aim of this survey.
Absolutely. And like I said before, every answer will be treated respectfully and with confidentiality. We're here for each other in that gentle space, and I think that's a great way to kick things off, is to find out who you are, what concerns you, and how we can help each other. And I think
now is the time to tell our viewers more about our sponsor.
Oh,
for this
today,
podcast.
today's sponsor is Bath Calm. That's my company. It's something I founded 5 years ago. It was interesting, actually. It was a total women in bloom situation I found myself in. I was facing voluntary redundancy. My daughter was about to have her first baby and I was about to turn 50. So all this big stuff was happening all at once. And when that happens to me, I just go and have a bath. I retreat to the bath and just zone out. That's a place where I can go and have a cry, just be private, you know, and just be in that space. And while I was lying in my bath, I had some music playing, I had essential oils, and I just thought, wow, I feel so good, nothing matters. And then it was like, oh, wouldn't it be great if everyone could feel like that, no matter what was going on in their lives? And so the idea for Bath Calm was born. And 5 years on, we're still here, which is really good because I've never owned a business before. So yeah, Bath Calm, pure essential oils, natural ingredients.
Here, let me.
Thank you. Pure relaxation for busy people. So if you don't have a bath, these are shower clouds. And with our soaks, I'm really proud of this concept, and I have to thank my partner for that. When I came up with the idea, I wanted there to be music attached to it somehow, but I couldn't figure out how. And I ruminated over it for a few days. And then I said to him, I've got this idea. I think I want to know what I want to do with my redundancy money. I want to start a company, and it's going to be bath products, and it has to be natural, and it's all compostable packaging, but I want there to be music with it as well. And I don't know how to do that. And he went, oh, that's easy. Just put a QR code on it and people can... And I was like, oh, yeah, wow. And this is way before COVID. This you had to download the QR reading app on your phone. That's how long ago it was. And there it is. So each blend that we have has a meditation that's been composed specifically to match the ethos of that blend. So this one, for example, Euphoria is uplifting.
I can vouch for these products.
Thank you.
I've used them.
They're beautiful.
And they are absolutely beautiful products.
Oh, thank you so much. So, yeah, this is my little pride and joy, and the thing that I'm doing other than Women in Bloom is Bath Calm.
So the website?
Bathcalm.com. Thank you.
Brilliant.
And I think that's all we really have time for today, isn't it?
Yes.
I think we just about wrap things up. So,
I
yes,
think so.
Our next one, we will be talking about who we are. And I think you'll find that we're really, really relatable with our histories and things that we've gone through and what's happened with us to bring us to where we are now. So that's what we're looking at, who the women of Women in Bloom are in our next podcast. And if you want, as we said before, if you have any feedback, if you've got anything that you want to share with us, DM us in our socials. And, we look forward to seeing you again. Thank you, Alexis.
Thank you. And
Thank you, Caroline.
Thank
Yes.
you, Annie. High five. It's our first one.
Okay.
Remember, ladies,
Love you.
Love life.
Cheers.